Today, we're going to talk about how to track your commission and the behind the scenes on the operations side of part of a junk removal business. Hey, I'm Muadine. I'm the operations manager for Junk Punks. Day-to-day operations. So I'm basically in charge of all the jobs, drivers. I'm in charge of clients. So if there's any problems, I'm the one that talks to the clients and any problems. You have crews out there, no? So when jobs come in, you need someone to know exactly where the crews are at and who to give it to. Make sure the crews that are out there are putting jobs properly, are using their time efficiently, are not just wasting time. Every single client matters. We can collect all the data we want, but if we don't get the client to call us back, it's pointless. The business goes nowhere. For example, every time someone calls us on the phone, we never say we can't do it unless it's a body removal or something that we actually legally cannot do it. But every time we try to work with the client in person on the phone, there is no excuse to not doing a job unless of course it's illegal or we need some type of license. Customer service, I'm talking about calling the client the day before, make sure we confirm the job, confirm the appointment, call them before the time window. So let's say it's a 12 to 2, we call them at 11:30 to make sure they know we're still coming, to give them an exact ETA updated. And you can see through our reviews too, some reviews say, oh my God, they called me so many times, they made sure I was updated with the ETA, which is, new. Let's say you call a company and they give you a time window. In between that time window, would you like to get called, being updated throughout the day, so you know exactly when people are gonna show up to your house, Stuff like that matters a lot because that's what makes, customer call you back, especially if you don't overprice or charge as much as you can on a job. For example, would you like to make $400 for one client and never see him again? Or maybe charge him $325 and then he's gonna call you 3 more times and charge $325, $250 and $500, Stuff like that, you need to think of the big picture. Not only you go there once, but that client is an infinite time he can call you back. So you need to make the best rapport you make with the client. Repeat business, that's the key of any business out there. Customer service, so you go to someone's house, he's not your customer, he's your friend. So you need to talk to him until he gets sick of you and says, okay, now quote me on what I need removed. You never just go out there and say, okay, what do you need removed? You just start conversation. Every time I see the car, oh, nice car. I see the plate, oh, you're from Colorado? When did you move here? What are you doing? Just make a normal conversation. You don't think of him as a client, just think of him as a person you meet at a grocery store. Just want to talk to him, make a new friend. And some people really are not friendly, but 80% of them they want to talk to you, especially the older people. They love you. And that's 90% of the sales right there, because people buy from people they like. So if you make them like you, it's a guaranteed sale. And then if you give them a little deal on the sale, not only they like as a person, but you give them a good price, they're gonna call Junk Punks forever. Why would they call another company? So we're very big on that. We teach that to everyone that works for us. Customer service, we're the best in it, and I'm no doubt about it. A big part of my job is customer service, but of course I can't be in every truck every hour, 4 trucks, 5 trucks every hour with every person. So how do we track and ensure people are doing a good job on closing jobs, make sure the clients are happy, all of that. So what are we tracking? We're tracking the rev per hour on the trucks for the guys. We're tracking the reviews of the guys. We're tracking the total commission for the guys, and we are tracking the tips. Why do we track all of this? Well, as I said earlier, I cannot be in every truck at every hour, at every moment of the day. So we need some form of tracking for us to know who's performing well, who is doing what with their time. People buy from people who like, but they also tip people who like. So tips wise, you can say how well of a rapport you build with the client, And it's fun to think about the people that are number 1, number 2, number 3 in this rev per hour are also number 1, number 2, number 3 in the tips section, which are also in the top 5 of the reviews. So you do one thing right and the rest follows. Okay guys, now we're gonna go in my laptop. We're gonna show what we track, how we track it, because men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. So let's dive into this. So here's what we're doing. What the people need to put in is what time they clock in, what time they clock out, their total rev for the day, how many jobs total visit is how many jobs they went to, jobs won is how many jobs they closed. This way they need to put clock in and out the hours they work on the truck. It's called truck runners. So they don't bring any revenue for the company. Their job is to just solely dump trucks and swap trucks with other team, which helps them, but they don't bring any revenue, so it doesn't count towards their rev per hour. So where am I here? Okay, here I am. I clocked in at 8 a.m. I clocked out at 7 p.m. I brought in about 3,200 worth of revenue. Exactly, let's say exactly 3,221. This sheet automatically knows our commission structure. So it will automatically put the commission in the box. So I made $96 commission on Monday. Then I went to 9 jobs, but I only closed 7. So now each person puts these stats each day, and the manager needs to make sure everything is accurate. We need to make sure that they actually went to this amount of jobs and they actually closed those amount of jobs. And at the end here, it shows me the total commission of everyone, the closing rate of everyone, the total rev for the week of everyone, total hours, and the rev per hour. So everything is automated. Before we made this, I had to spend a lot of time just going through everyone's hours, everyone's revenue. So I had to use 2 different softwares to get this info. Right now we're using one, and it's all automated. So instead of spending 2 hours every Monday doing this, everything is completely automated, which helps me with the rev per hour. I don't need to do any calculations or total commission. I don't need to do any adding up. It just automatically does it for me. So how does all this help the managers and the guys? So managers wise, we got a lot of information. We got their total commission for whoever runs payroll. So I'm the one that runs payroll. This saves me so much time. Closing rate, we track this because our goal is between 90% and 100%, of course. If it's below that, we need to have a talk with the guys. Why is your closing rate so low? Why are we walking away from jobs? There is no reason for us to walk away from jobs unless they want it done for free or they want me to pay them to remove the item. Like, there's no excuse from walking away from jobs. There is some quote onlys that we do, but everyone has a price. There's a deal to be made in every job, and I don't care about any excuse. We need to know why your closing rate is below 90%. If it's 90 or 100%, you're good with me. You don't have to worry about it. Next is rev per hour. So how does this help me and how does this help the guys? So for the guys, we do have a ranking system. As you guys can see in the screen, number 1 through 3, they get a monthly bonus. So how's it possible that Brian, number 1, he has 11,000 in rev. His rev is higher than Tay's, and he has 33,000 in revenue for the whole week. How's that possible? So how do our guys manually enter this? Do they get each employee gets a laptop? No way. Follow me. So at the end of every day, they come here, see this tablet here, it's screwed to the wall, they can't take it out. All they can do is put their numbers in. They put their numbers here, it's gonna, every minute this updates. So they'll know exactly who's number 1, who's number 2, who's number 3, which, it creates a healthy, competitive environment for the guys. And yeah, for them, when they put the numbers in here too, they see it, and it's always good for the employees to see how much revenue they make, how much commission they make. Because I could make everything automated if I wanted to. They can just put one number in, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I want the guys to actually see how much they're bringing in for themselves, for the company. I want them to see who's number 1. I want them to talk shit about other people. That's what makes it fun too, But yeah, at the end of the day, men lie, women definitely lie, but numbers don't lie, man.